Hi there! Sensei Victoria Whitfield here from victoriawhitfield.com for your weekly love letter. Spirit this week wants you to know about the sacred practice of journaling. So for those of you who are watching already have journals, maybe have like a ton of journals, this is just going to be a recap and an affirmation for you. But if you're someone who says, oh yeah, I used to write, or oh yeah, I gotta write more, oh yeah, I should journal, oh, yeah. I love you. This is your wake-up call that maybe you should have your journal out right now. In fact, your first entry in your journal is this: I am so happy and grateful that I get to journal now. Put the date, sign it. Okay, let that be your first entry if you have never journaled before. All right? Journaling is a sacred practice. Whether you are spiritual or not, you could be atheistic, but the sacred practice of journaling is that it is universally grounding and centering. That's the value of journaling. It's grounding because it gets you into your body and into the present moment. Especially handwriting in a journal. There's a different energy that is felt when we journal with our physical book and a physical pen versus journaling on the computer. Now, either way, you're still using your body, whether you're doing a audio journal, a video journal, or a typing digital journal. But the practice of writing with your arm activates, they're telling me, part of your brain that allows for natural channeling. It can happen when you're writing too, but the motion of your wrists, I'm hearing in particular, the circular nature with your hand as you create words, dances with the energy more in a way that allows for channeling. Now, if you have really bad handwriting, but you want the second best way to physically engage and ground for journaling, then I would recommend, instead of typing, do recordings, do voice blogging. Because as you start to speak, your throat chakra is activated with the vibration of your voice, and more words begin to flow out. Your arms and hands, by the way, are extensions of your throat chakra. So we want to engage as much of your body in this as possible in the journaling practice. Because the more that you engage your body and become present to the sensations of your body, whether it's feeling the pen on the paper or admiring the ink that you're using because this is your sacred pen in the beautiful paper of your sacred journal, or as you feel the words coming out of your mouth and you hear the tones of your voice as you're speaking it, and then also on playback when you listen to or reread your journal entries, hello, that's what it's for, you engage your authentic energy on a whole nother level, an organic level that only your body can give to you. So that's one way that journaling is a sacred practice, because it's such a grounding and healing practice because of that. But it's also centering. It's your handwriting, it's your journal, these are your thoughts and your expressions, right? And this is your sacred time. Centering brings you back. It pulls back all of your awareness back to center. Who am I at my core? Right? That's what centering exercises are. And because of that, I keep hearing in the energy that this video in particular, this practice of journaling in particular, is really great for someone who has issues with spirituality or spiritual people. If you're looking for personal development, for being like of an atheistic mindset, you know, feeling that God is dead or there's no such thing as angels and fairies and that's all imaginary ridiculousness, cool, no problem. You can still cleanse and balance your emotional state and become more emotionally grounded and mentally clear through the practice of journaling. That's why it's recommended in the sciences. When you're running your experiments, you need to keep tabs on what you did that day, what worked, what didn't work. Because in universal truth, wherever your awareness goes, healing flows. Or you can substitute the word healing to transformation. Okay? So when we're looking into the finer details of ourself or any project that we're working on, it centers our focus, gives us this state of clarity that only journaling can provide as a reflective internal practice. So this is the perfect time to start journaling. Whatever the venue works best for you, use it. You may want to go to Barnes & Noble and buy like, you know, a beautiful book with beautiful paper that speaks to you. Or you may want to go to the dollar store and get the little composition notebook with the, I don't know, is that like a zebra or what is that like print? If you know what the name of that pattern is, send me an email back. I don't even know what to call the pattern on the composition notebook. But you know what I'm talking about, the black and white, or sometimes they come in color. These are here nor there. But the point is that you just, or it doesn't even have to be in a book. Just begin taking pages. I know someone who actually writes on napkins. Whatever works for you. But a big part of making journaling a sacred practice is you have a dedicated journal. For, let's say, maybe it's your gratitude journal. This is the journal that I write what I'm thankful for every day. And that also, gratitude is another trans psychological practice. It's one that it bridges the gaps and can be done whether you're deeply religious, spiritual but not religious, or completely atheistic. Practicing gratitude is emotionally grounding and centering in and of itself. But we want to have it in one dedicated space. Why? Because it creates a habit. And your habits create your life. So as you have the habit of journaling on a regular basis, your awareness, where your awareness goes, healing flows, your awareness is going to yourself and your personal development. Therefore, it deepens your personal development journey. Okay? So if there's part of your life that you want to send extra healing energy to, journal about it and have a dedicated time, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, or a half an hour. You want to put a time limit on, and you can also set a cell phone timer to remind you that, hey, journaling time is up, just so that you're able to get on with your day. I remember when I started dream journaling, and the thing about dream journaling is that it accrues over time. Your memory increases. At the height of my dream journaling, I remember one day I had to sit down and write the details of a dream for 3 hours. And I was like, this is it, I'm done. I can't take this anymore, it's too much specificness. So put a time limit on it. Why? Because you're an unlimited creative being. And you could sit and, really journal. Now I'm hearing the oracle cards and one last point coming in the energy at the same time. So hold off just for a second. I'm just talking to the deck because it's me. The last point that's coming in the energy is, well, Sensei, what if I have writer's block? That means that you have that wall that comes up, or you're in front of the piece of paper or in front of the Word doc and you're like, all right, I'm here, now what? My suggestion to you is that you get into the vortex. When we have writer's block, it's because there's a fear and an expectation really clamped down on our energy. The fear is there's lack. There's not enough creativity. I'm going to be met with blank space. And then there's the expectation of the fulfillment of that fear. Like, okay, so I expect that when I go to write, because it's been happening over and over again, that nothing's going to come through. Find a way to get back into your vortex. Work out, meditate, spend time patting the cat or playing with the dog, playing with your kids, looking through old family pictures, go outside, hike or walk around and just allow the fresh air to be with you. And as you do things that raise your vibration, that's what I mean by get into the vortex, things that encourage you or make you feel better just because they do. You don't really need an explanation for it. Maybe chocolate just does it. Or maybe talking to that one person or seeing their face just does it for you. Do something that makes you feel good. And start by writing to describe the thing that makes you feel good and why. I love chocolate because of the texture, because it always works for me, because it smells good, because it reminds me of fun times with my mom, because it reminds me of my brother and he loves dark chocolate and I love it. Like, start with experiencing something that makes you feel good. If you have writer's block, write about that and continue into the vortex, into that inundation of appreciation for the thing that you love. And once you're in that state, then go to write about whatever you may have writer's block around. If that doesn't work for you, come and see me. I have 7.5 years experience getting people out of writer's block. I actually used to work at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, doing that as a senior writing tutor. So, I got you. So if you're into my writer's block, people come and see me. But back to the sacred practice of journaling. So the Oracle cards deck this week that said that they wanted to talk to you in relationship to this topic is really interesting. It's one of my newest decks. It's the Angel Answers Oracle cards deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. They make wonderful art together. So I saw this and I'm like, well, you're coming to the dojo to continue the healing work that you and I together. So thank you for agreeing to be with us. But the Angel Answers Oracle cards deck is coming through, and this is more of the yes, no, or maybe kind of deck to give us, like, should we go for it or should we not? So the question I'm going to ask this Oracle cards deck is, should we be journaling? I can hear the guide saying yes, 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 but I'm interested to see what this Oracle card deck can contribute to this conversation. So, beautiful cards. So I'm just going to shuffle them, and I'm praying that the angels please guide us into the direction of our highest good. And I'm trusting 1,000% that the best answer will come through about whether or not we should be journaling right now. Woohoo! Oh my goodness! Communicate clearly! Wow! And wow, Radley Valentine's art is just superb. It's very high vibrational deck. I love it. So there's female angel with the earth in her hands and 2 dolphins. Dolphins are some of the most ancient beings on the planet, and their brains are quite large. They use 20% of their brains to live, whereas we only use like kind of less than 10. So this is high vibrational knowledge coming through. The sense of unity is also being communicated by the card. But let's read the entry. So, communicate clearly. I'm hearing a high-pitched tone in my left ear, which signals the presence of the angels also. So, communicate clearly. This situation requires very precise and careful communication. Pause. The angels are saying, this is about communicating with yourself. Journaling. Don't assume that others involved, aka yourself, understand what you want or need from them. In-person discussions are preferable, but if that's not possible, make sure your communication method is very thorough. This card can indicate that there has been a miscommunication that is creating a challenge for both parties involved. By clearing up any misunderstandings, you can heal the situation so that everyone can start moving forward again. So remember a few weeks ago when we said to date yourself? So that was like 101. This is 201. If you're having trouble communicating with yourself and getting to know yourself, to love yourself at a deeper level, journaling is a wonderful practice that helps you communicate clearly. When you start writing about how you feel, more comes out than you would expect. You're describing where you're at and really feeling into it. And if you feel negative emotions or if you're mad, say that, write that out. You know, they do sell the journals with the lock on it if you feel self-conscious about people reading your stuff. But don't worry about it. Ask the angels to protect your sacred practice. Okay, but what matters most is that you allow yourself the space to be expressive. This is about healing the throat chakra. Big blue earth and blue dolphins coming together. This is throat chakra energy, my gosh, like exploding out of you. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to really be clear about how you really feel so you can move forward. Okay, so let me know what this is resonating with in your life. If you need some writing assignments to get yourself started, send me an email back as well. Or we can do a sacred journaling package together for 3 months, really getting you into the flow of communicating clearly with yourself on all levels. Okay? Call me or send me an email back if that's something that speaks to you. If not, awesome. We will see you in the next week's video. Mwah! Bye-bye. See you soon.